It's Saturday, February 10th, 2024, and I've got three best bets for you. One in the Super Bowl, two for today. Right now, let's dive into it. This is the Free Three. What's up, guys? It's your boy Noble Living back with another DYF Bets video where I'm breaking down my favorite picks and plays of the day as we just try to get to the bag together and make some money. Now, yesterday, we had a sweep in a kind of a semi-sweep way. Went 2-0 on the day, even though I give out 3 plays, I give out one NFL Super Bowl square. So we got 2-0 on the day, cashing on Kelly Oubre points over, no sweat bet there, and then cashing on the San Diego State Nevada under, also no sweat bet there. 2-0 the day, love to see. We needed a winning day here on the channel, so you can now see our year-to-date record right here, over 500 back for the month of February. Hopefully this can start a win streak and build up some momentum going into Super Bowl Sunday. If you have been liking the videos and the picks that I've been dropping, make sure you smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. And guess what? We got more picks and plays coming up, and tomorrow I've got a full Super Bowl video for you guys as I've been giving out some player props, and I'll have tomorrow probably a teaser and a game side for you guys as well inside that Super Bowl video. All right, my friends? So let's dive into these best bets for this Saturday basketball slate. For my first best bet of the day, I'm going to go to an ACC matchup here between the Virginia Cavaliers and the Florida State Seminoles. And Virginia is one of the hottest teams in the country right now. And truthfully, I'm going to back them again in today's spot, although we do have a really short line. So because of that, I'm going to take Virginia on the money line, minus 125 odds. Virginia has won 7 games in a row, and now they find themselves second in the ACC conference with a 9-3 conference record. Meanwhile, Florida State, they've lost 2 of their last 3 games, and they find themselves in a must-win situation now because they need another resume-boosting win for, as they come down the stretch for the tournament. And I think today's matchup can get that done for them. But the question is, do they have enough offense against this potent defense for Virginia and score enough points? I don't think so. Virginia, although they're not the same defensively on the road as they are at home, and this game is in Florida State, I do think that this team has enough on the defensive side of the ball because their defense is no joke. I mean, we literally saw that last game against Miami where they held that potent offense to 38 points in the entire game. Now Florida State has to defend the home court. Even though they're ranked 139th on the offensive side, they don't shoot the ball well, 246 from three-point range. They really don't shoot two-pointers well, 183 from two-point range, and then they don't hit their free throws either. So my question then becomes, what are they going to be able to do against this Virginia Cavaliers defense that's going to throw them off? And for me, I don't see anything. Now, keep in mind, Florida State does have a very strong defense, ranked 37th in defensive efficiency, but Virginia, I think they have enough of an offensive game in order to keep up here, in order to score enough points. And then we've seen them win competitive and tough road games in conference before. They beat Clemson on the road. They beat Louisville on the road. They beat Georgia Tech on the road. Now, they did lose to NC State and Wake Forest on the road, but that was at the beginning of conference play before they went on this hot streak that they're currently on. And then Florida State, they've been scraping by. They barely beat Boston College in their last game, 63-62. They lost on the road at Louisville, giving up 100 points to Louisville. That's absolutely crazy, before dropping their game before that again at home against North Carolina. So for me, this is just a matchup where I think that we're getting value because it's a home road type of situation. We know how hard it is to win on the road in college basketball. I've lost in this spot several times this year, but for me, I think this is just when it comes down to the talent that both of these teams have and how hot Virginia has been. I just don't see them losing this game today against Florida State. Maybe in their next game against Pittsburgh or Wake Forest coming up, they might pick up a loss. But for me, I don't see them picking up this loss here. And then because we have the two contrasting styles and the fact that Florida State is about top 100 team in terms of tempo, while you have Virginia, which is one of the slowest teams in all the country in terms of tempo, I think that's going to favor the Cavaliers here. If it gets into a defensive matchup, then I have to side with the better defense, which I think is going to happen. Give me Virginia on the money line as our first best bet of the day. Now, for my second best bet of the day, we're going to stay with the college basketball slate, and we're going to go with another situational matchup that I really love today. It's a late night matchup between the Colorado Buffs and the Arizona Wildcats, and I have to go with the Buffs here on the money line, again, minus 125 odds. Now, the reason why this is because playing in the Pac-12 conference on the road is never easy, but when you have to play certain teams like Utah and Colorado, it gets tougher because you're not only facing hostile road crowds, but you're you're also battling natural elements like the altitude. And now Arizona heads into Boulder late Saturday night, and that's exactly their situation. They beat Utah in triple overtime in Utah on Thursday. Now they have to travel to Colorado to take on a Buffs team that's going to be ready, that's going to be waiting for them, that's going to want some revenge, and they've only had 1 day of rest. That's just not going to get that done. And keep in mind, give Arizona all the credit for winning that triple overtime game on the road, but you have to question how the legs of this Arizona team is going to hold up, especially towards the end of this game. So because of that, I just think that the situation favors Colorado in this matchup, and Colorado is a team that's going to run you, they're going to shoot the ball well, and they're going to be able to keep up offensively with Arizona. Colorado is very efficient on the offensive side, 33 in offensive efficiency, 9th in three-point percentage, and they're also scoring about 81 points per game. Keep in mind that Arizona's defense is not all that great either. They've been struggling down the stretch of the season. Their defense has given up about 73 points per game. So if this one starts getting into a shootout, again, tired legs down the stretch, again, I think it favors Colorado in this matchup. And then I also mentioned the revenge spot earlier. Colorado got smacked by Arizona earlier this year by 47 points. They lost in that matchup, but they were not fully healthy in that game. Now they are. They've got Cody Williams back from injury. They've got Tristan Da Silva back. Neither of those guys played in that first matchup. And then keep in mind, they still got Javon Holiday, who dropped 19 points in their last game. They've got J.J. Simpson, who's averaging 19 points per game to go at 49% shooting from the field, 45% from the three-point line. So for me, the situational spot says Arizona, minimal rest, hard environment to play, not only because of the crowd, but also because of the altitude. Played a triple overtime game against a healthy Colorado team for really first time all season. I like Colorado in this matchup. We're getting good value on them at minus 125 odds. If you're going to wait for it to get live so you can get plus the points or plus value, I think that opportunity is going to be there. But keep in mind, this is one of those matches where I think Colorado can jump on Arizona early and put the hammer on them. I don't think Arizona's going to score enough points to keep up with Colorado in this matchup. So give me Colorado on the money line as our second best bet of the day. For our third and final best bet of the day, I told you guys I'm going to hook you up with some Super Bowl squares, some player props that you can put inside your Prize Pick entries, daily fantasy. Well, I've got another one for you. So yesterday, I gave you Isaiah Pacheco anytime touchdown. Today, I'm going to give you the man himself, Mr. Patrick Mahomes, but we're going to go over 25.5 rushing yards, minus 110 odds as our third and final best bet and our second Super Bowl best bet for you, okay? I love Mahomes rushing props. I love them in general, and I love them in this matchup. I'm going to go with the yards here, but I think you can take a look at a few different angles here, okay? His longest rush is over 12.5. I really like that. We took that in the AFC Championship game. It hooked, so we obviously lost, but I do think that's another good look at because, you know, Mahomes, when he scrambles, he makes it count. And picking up 12, 13 yards on one scramble when you're running for a first down or late in the game when the middle is wide open, the defense is stretched, it's very possible for Mahomes to be able to do that, okay? Another thing that you want to look at is maybe his rush attempts. His line is at 4.5, especially if you think that the Chiefs are going to be winning this game, because down the stretch, if he takes some kneel downs, guess what? They count as rush attempts. So I do like his rush attempts at 4.5 as well. But the Super Bowl, for me, I think it's going to be a close game. The spread has remained pretty consistent between the ones, the twos, never really made it up to that key number of 3. We're seeing sharp money coming on both the Chiefs and the 49ers. You have experts and analysts split on the Chiefs and the 49ers. I think it's going to be a close game. I think because of the revenge factor for the 49ers after losing the last Super Bowl to this Chiefs team, they're going to be ready, especially now that they've got McCaffrey. They're going to go after this Chiefs team. I think that this is a close game. So because it's a close game, when we get down to the wire in a very, close matchup in the fourth quarter, that's when Mahomes really looks to use his legs. He's not afraid to run. He's not afraid to extend plays, get extra possessions for his team, and he's going to do anything that it takes to win. We literally saw this in the last Super Bowl last year when he was limping all over the field with that ankle injury, and guess what? He still ran for 44 yards with that bum ankle. So for tomorrow or in the Super Bowl, I think we can see something very similar. In 3 Super Bowls that Mahomes has played in, he's run for 44 yards, 33 yards, and 29 yards. So he's gone over this total in all 3 of the Super Bowls. Again, I like that. In this year's playoffs, he's only gone over this total in one of the 3 games, being being the wild card round against the Dolphins, but he did have 6 attempts in both the divisional rounds and the championship rounds. So because that's the good volume, you might want to take a look at the attempts. Or like I said, I think that he can break a long one or be able to string together 2, 3, 4, 7-yard runs and be able to pick up the 25.5 rushing yards. But there are a few different ways that you can take a look at this angle. I do think the longest rush and his rushing attempts is another line that you can look at. Now, I did look at the 49ers rush defense. They don't give a ton of rushing yards to QBs, but they also don't face a lot of scrambling QBs, especially inside of the division. Like, look at the division, right? They've got the Rams. That's Matthew Stafford, pocket passer. Against the Lions in the NFC Championship game, they play Jared Goff, pocket passer. Geno Smith, not really a guy who's going to take off too much for the Seahawks. The Cardinals, Kyler Murray, yeah, he's going to take off, but I mean, he didn't play half the season. So when you look at those 49ers numbers and you kind of take a look at it, like how much yards they give up to opposing rushing quarterbacks, it's not really that high. But again, I think the situation is different being in the Super Bowl, especially for me. I'm leaning towards the 49ers right now. I'll give you my official game side in tomorrow's video. But if I think that the 49ers are going to be winning this game late, then that means Mahomes is going to have to be using his legs to keep possessions alive. We've seen him do it over and over and over again in big games and big situations. 25.5 is not that big of a rush line, so go with that. But you want to maybe look at the attempts of the longest rush as an alternate line as well. That's it for me today, my friends. 3 best bets, 3 winners that are headed your way on this college basketball slate and on this Saturday, and then 1 for Super Bowl Sunday. Give me Virginia on the money line against Florida State. Give me Colorado on the money line against Arizona. And then also give me Patrick Mahomes over 25.5 rushing yards as our Super Bowl player prop to go with Isaiah Pacheco that I gave you guys yesterday. All right, my friends, if you want more best bets and picks and plays that we're going to be dropping all throughout the day inside of the Discord group, click that link in the description. Free group for you guys to join there. And then share your picks and plays with me, so this way I can always tell you guys we can make some money together. And I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video for Super Bowl Fun Sunday. All right, my friends? Take your fake, get to that shutdown. See you tomorrow. Later, gang.